Hello and welcome to Banter and Chill with your host, Inni Baby. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Banter and Chill podcast with your host, Inni Baby. Now, as always, I'm going to say, oh, how are you, my people? But I've noticed that people are very rude. People that used to listen to my podcast are very rude. All the weeks I used to ask, all the episodes I used to say, oh, how are you? How has life been? Nobody has ever taken it upon themselves to even respond, maybe on YouTube or on Instagram, that, oh, I'm this or I'm that. So I'm not going to ask. No, I'm going to ask, how are you, my people? How has life been? So if people don't respond to this one, from the next episode, I will not ask again. Anyways, on today's episode, I brought back the highly requested Nifemi today to come and talk about the issue of girlfriend allowance with me. Now, funny story, plenty men that listen to my episode wanted Nifemi to come back. Plenty women that listen to my episode, to my podcast, wanted Lee to come back. So I did ask Lee to come, but he rain checked on me. Not necessarily last minute, but the day before today, he had to dip. So all the women that are watching the episode, I'm very sorry you could not have Lee again.
And all the men that are watching me, you got me.
Congratulations, you have Nifemi. But today we are going to talk about girlfriend allowance, as I said. Now, I wanted Lee here for like gender balance, so we have a man's point of view. But since he's not here, and me, I'm on low court, I'll try to represent the men. Nifemi, you represent the women. So that's just how we're going to do it today. Regardless, I want to put it out there. The details are not sure yet, but I want to put it out there that we're going to be hosting a Twitter space soon. Now, we might host the space on the day you see this episode. So if you're watching this episode, you may or you may not have received info from me concerning the Twitter space. So if you don't have Twitter, go and download it. If you have already, go and look for Banter and Chill and follow us on Twitter, because we're going to have a Twitter space to talk about this same thing I'm talking about now. So if you hear anything you don't like, maybe from Nifemi or from me, come and find us there and you tell us your mind. Anyways, let's start the conversation. Let's break the ice. Nifemi, I want to know. Let's start from there. Has anybody ever given you allowance? Like, have you ever experienced this whole girlfriend allowance thing?
I'm a big fan of allowances, and I believe that in the littlest way possible, a man should be able to give his babe or his partner allowances. It might not be as expensive as these rich people do, but just to appreciate the person you are with, I believe that should happen. Yeah.
So okay, another story that doesn't concern any of you. When I told Lee that I want to talk about girlfriend allowance, the first thing Lee asked me was, "What about boyfriend allowance?" So, do we give men allowance too? If men are supposed to give us allowance, should we give them too?
I don't think they deserve it because.
Hey! I don't think they deserve it. Okay, go on.
I don't think you guys deserve it because as we say, they always say it is a man's world.
Yeah, actually.
And when it doesn't benefit them, they become so like so touchy about the whole thing. You understand? So I believe that some of you are very good to us and you deserve it. Yeah. But like, you don't expect to be treated like a woman.
No, that's not. There's something they say now that nowadays men are very sassy, and they are more like when you say something like go sis, go girl, like we're supposed to be telling our generation of men go girl, because they're so sassy. If you don't call them, I'm angry at them. Like, oh, you didn't call me. Then they say, but you did not call me. Why are you so sassy? Are you the babe? Am I the babe? Anyways, different message people don't deserve allowance, and I strongly support that because men don't deserve good things.
I thought you were supporting the men.
Oh, sorry.
I won this round.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to support men. No, I think men don't deserve allowance, but they deserve other things. Anyways, I have never, but you did not answer the question. Have you ever gotten? Do you get?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so me now, I've never gotten allowance. Also, Hope is running around here eyeing Nifemi because she said men don't deserve allowance. So if you watch the episode with Hope,
is stingy. Just know that one.
If you saw the episode with Hope, you know who Hope is. But if you did not, please go and look for the episode on adult friendships. You know who Hope is. She said she has received girlfriend allowance in the past. I have not received girlfriend like allowance from somebody, like let's say every month or every this I'm getting a certain amount. But I do know that I've been with someone who at the time I was working a job that was paying me like 50k every month, and he was making more than that, like by a mile. So I know that every once in a while he used to try to consciously send me money. So I don't know if that would now, if that passes for an allowance. Is that an allowance as well?
Yes, it is.
So does that now mean that any money that maybe you get from a man at any point in time is supposed to qualify as an allowance? Where I'm even coming from is, are there certain things that make an allowance an allowance? What's the line between an allowance that you're giving to your babe and just money that you're sending to her randomly?
I don't think, so far they're sending you money, I don't think there's something like you're sending something randomly. It's an allowance regardless. Just like the way our parents will send us money. It's an allowance. So,
but what if you say like, okay, oh babe, I don't have money right now. Maybe it's poor right now. So your boyfriend should send you money. Is that an allowance? Or is that one something you asked for?
You asked for it, but in the real sense of it, allowance is something that you have to get at every point in time.
Yeah, from time to time.
That you have to, I stand to be corrected anyways.
Yeah.
That you have to get at every point in time.
Yeah.
And if you're like, oh babe, I'm broke the first time, second time, you're collecting an allowance. I don't know how you people see it. But once you are getting money from somebody and it's not like they are owing you or you are buying something, it's an allowance.
Okay, so we've already established that it's something that comes from time to time. But where do you think this whole girlfriend allowance thing started from? Like me, as I said, I've given the example of what I've had, but I've not really had the conversation of you need to give me like maybe a certain amount every month or every week. Should there even be conversations like that? Because I know somebody who, she has this kind of conversations with who she's involved with, that over here we do all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. Should you sit down and be having that kind of conversation like in the beginning with the person that, I expect so and so from you, and allowance is one of them?
I think it depends on the kind of person you're with at first, and it also depends on the kind of person the person is too, and also the kind of situation the lady might be in. Do you understand? Some people, they're the ones feeding themselves, and they kind of need that kind of help. Some people, they communicate with their boyfriend or their partner in another dimension. Like they talk about literally everything. They discuss about literally everything. So I don't get to put my legs in something that I'm not going to finish. You understand? So yes, it's okay for you to discuss that with your partner if that is what you are into. I mean, you can't see a fine girl looking all fly and speaking all fly, and you just walk up to her and you think
you can come,
you have the effrontery to think that you will go to her, say you want to date her, and you will not be giving her girlfriend allowance. Like, don't you think that it was men? We can be out them money, but don't you even think that it was that the men she has been with her in the past that like give her one or two things that she's looking off by looking at?
You remember that Mama G song, look at me well, and I mean be Mama G. No be only you, everybody love me, but not be love I go chop food. How did they sing that? Love no they buy pepper soup. So Nifemi is basically saying love no they buy pepper soup. So if you're coming, look at me well and you put two and two together. You know that this one it took materials to maintain what you're saying. So why are you now coming without materials?
But don't mix it up. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, cause
I'm not saying that it is a must.
True.
Do you understand?
True.
Because there are some men that you love them, that are there for you, even like without, not the financial aspect of it. That are there for you, but they are still like, you understand that this person is struggling. This person, and it will be inhuman of you to now say, oh, you have to give me, where do you want the guy to get it from? Maybe he has not even eaten afternoon or dinner.
Jesus.
Where do you want him to get it from? So if you understand that the person you are with is someone that is capable or that can do that, then why not? You should give me. Okay, so I think demand it.
Yeah, I believe we're gradually establishing how and where this will, like when they say in what conditions can something exist. I think we're gradually establishing the conditions that make up this whole girlfriend allowance thing. But it's not like okay, there's entitlement at play, but the idea is in typical patriarchal societies, men are providers and protectors. So now, what she said is true. Some men might not be there, they might not be buoyant enough to give you a kind of lifestyle. So they might not adequately provide at the time, but they could do other things like protect. And you know how they say there are different love languages. They might not be able to do the gifting, but they could do acts of service. They could do words of affirmation for you if you swing that way. But the idea is, since men are generally providers and protectors, some women just tie whether or not they will fall in love with you, with your ability to provide and protect. So there are some women and people now tend to say, okay, those kind of babes are materialistic. I don't think they are. The thing is, they are capable of loving somebody, but like,
I think everybody is materialistic. You cannot tell me that even if a lady is giving you allowances and as a man you say, no, I'm a man, I can't collect allowance, you will collect it. Everybody is materialistic one way or another. Please, I will not say a Bugatti. Someone wants to dash me a Bugatti or give me a Bugatti, and I'll say, no, I don't do all those allowances, all those Bugatti. No, I will collect it. So I think that is a bullshit of a statement. Not you, I'm not like that particular thing of women being materialistic.
Yeah,
everybody is materialistic in their own way. It's just that what you prioritize might be different from what I prioritize.
True.
You understand?
True.
So a lady might be with you and all she just wants is money that she can use to buy Bugatti, and you know that all these things are way too expensive, and the lady just wants something that maybe she can use to just eat. You understand? It might not even be as expensive as these other girls, but just something that would help her survive or help her feel good around her friends. Basically.
Alright, so for research purposes, if you know that you're a man and you've ever received boyfriend allowance, or you've received any form of allowance from babe before, please send us and leave a comment somewhere so we can find you, because it's for research only. Let me know if there are men out there that do receive, because I feel like if a man was here, he would argue that they probably never received allowance before. But another thing I was going to say is when Nifemi, oh my god, I've forgotten what you said. You said two things in the beginning that was like, we're now forming about this whole allowance thing. I think there's a time and place for it. Like she has already said, you will not see somebody that is struggling and it's that person you demand certain things from. Okay, it's okay to have expectations. Okay, maybe every once in a while, if I say I'm going to make my hair, how much is your hair? If it's 5,000, you can contribute 2K inside and say, okay, add it to your money and go and make the hair. Like expectations, some sort of things like that here and there is calm, it's cool. But if you know that this person is honestly struggling, maybe the person because in Nigeria of today, if you're making a particular amount, you are like one maybe threatening health problem away from being a poor person. So if you know that maybe you and the person you're with, you people are still within that bracket, you cannot hold them to certain standards. So I think that's why most women, ladies, girls who want girlfriend allowance, they actively go for people who they know have that purchasing power, who are within that tax bracket. Because I don't feel they struggle for Lagos, they work, jump bus, do that, and then maybe the person I'm with, that's how some girls put it, and then the person I'm with cannot provide me small luxury, so they consciously go after those kind of people. But I think where this whole idea of materialistic babes come in is when I think men react negatively to not having access to those kind of girls, because you know that these babes are already, they want to save you the heartbreak and the problem and the torture, and just go after probably older men who have the means to provide what they want. Because you want those same babes, you will not start badmouthing them everywhere. Meanwhile, you have a quiet reason with me babe who has been trying to get your attention, your time, somebody that used to carry your back from the one that used to carry your back from January to December. She will not ask you to buy her bone straight 30 inches or deep wave 30 inches. Is the deep wave 30 inches babe that you want to go towards? And if you should make it clear to you that no, me and you cannot work because you cannot keep up with my standards, it will not be a problem. So what's the moral of the story? Please, there's always somebody in the tax bracket you are looking for. There's an abundance of people that will give you what you're looking for. go and find that person and love that person. And when it gets to the point where you can do for the person, but don't force
But don't you also think that is this little gifts that we get from men and these little memories that they give us, luxury memories that they give us, that make us like, maybe that makes the love look like superb? How will I put it? Okay, so if you are with a guy and is taking you all around the world, buying you don't even know when you will fall in love, because you are in your comfort zone.
Yeah, actually.
Breeze is blowing you.
I don't think that
You are
really
seeing
close.
beach. You are seeing this and that, entering Bugatti, doing this one. You will fall in love.
True.
So I want to believe that the luxury also helps in. Although some people are not like that. Yeah.
True.
Some people, they will not still fall in love with you even if you give them the whole world. That kind of thing. But I want to believe that it's all these luxurious things that make us be like, oh, this man is madly in love with me. Oh, this man really cares
and
about
I think
me.
I understand where that logic comes from, because whatever people like, they tend to give what they prioritize, or what they like, what they hold in high esteem or high regard to that person. So if at this time all I have is my time and my attention that I'm probably using to hustle around Lagos to make small change, if that's all I can give this babe, she will have my time 100%. Like, this babe will not pick call and I'll say, okay, I was doing something, I was not available to pick up that call. So the people who now have the means, who now have the money, like some people value their money. There are people that place value on their money. So that money that they value is going to the babe that they value. People who at the time cannot give, let's say, the money, they'll give you time, they'll give you attention. That if not be even that one said, I think my friend mentioned one time that she saw this guy. Was it pure water he sold? But like, he was rounding up for the day and he stopped to buy female slippers in one shop, and she saw him. In her head, she was like, this one now, if you don't do a day's hustle, you don't they buy slippers, go house, probably for his babe or something. But regardless, I think the key is to find somebody who is generous. You need to find somebody that you need to find somebody that kindness too, because and I think contentment is also key. The reason why this thing becomes more and more of a problem in our society is because I think it tons and tons of people are not contented. And I've talked about it from the men's side. You will see the babes around you within your brackets that are available, that love you, that would cherish whatever you can give them. You will still consciously have your eyes on those ones who are out of reach. Now, on the side of the babes, you know that, okay, at this point in time, or this is your bracket, this is who you're with. You now want to put pressure on the person to give you a lifestyle that even you cannot give yourself. I'm not saying there's nobody out there that cannot give it to you, but if you know that this is not the person to give it to you, don't even bother getting involved with the person. You now start stressing this young man out because maybe he cannot buy you this, or he cannot buy that, and be comparing him to everybody around you. So find somebody that is generous, find somebody that is kind,
or do you think that if everybody has money, if all the men have money and can afford all these luxurious things for women, do you think there will be anything like this topic of saying
true
his girlfriend? Because
that's another thing, no. Honestly, it's because you know what? You know how Chris Brown said, how will you be hating from outside the club? Sometimes it's just hating because you don't have access to that kind of life. People who make it look like, oh, guess I'm materialistic, asking for boyfriend allowance, if they have that money.
Because I've seen all these Igbo rich men, some Igbos, not all of them anyways. I've seen some Igbo rich men that they can drive the least cars in their house, and their wives are driving like the big cars.
Yes,
you know, they would take care of her.
If they stand next to their wife, you will not even know that this woman might, because that's where all their money is going to.
Exactly.
The woman will just be looking.
So will you say that when a man is treating me like that, I will not fall in love and I will be making it a materialistic thing? He loves me, and that's his way of even.
Honestly, that's his way of professing. So if you want somebody that profess love like that, find them. They exist. Don't go and meet one person that is still struggling and he cannot even do basic things for his own self. You're not expecting to give you the world. It doesn't work that way, my dear. But I also wanted to ask, because some people will argue that if you're giving an allowance, you're paying for love. Now, I've already said that you don't necessarily need to always have the conversation. Some men are just like that. Some men give. But in the event that you meet somebody who isn't like that, is it okay to like have that conversation so you can set the tone and manage your expectations?
Yes. I feel it's part of like getting to know, because most days we jump into relationship without having to know where you stand and where I stand as a human being and as partners. So if you have that conversation and you know that this one is not in for all that too, move. And everybody will just go their separate ways, basically.
True. So now back to what I was trying to say. Some people argue that at a point it's more or less like you're paying for love. Now what differentiates giving an allowance from paying for? Because again, like you said, if every man in the world had money and they had money to spend on their babes, I don't think this would be a conversation. So I think what I'm basically trying to establish is, at what point does this whole allowance thing now look like you're paying for somebody to love you?
I feel firstly, when the person doesn't show gratitude, in everything we must always show gratitude, whether someone is stashing you money or whatever the case may be. We must always show gratitude. So when the person is like making it a duty and you're like, oh, and when you even say, oh, you cannot even say thank you, I give you, and it's like, are you not supposed to do it? Am I not your babe? Are you not supposed to do it? Then that becomes you are paying for love. And when you also know that this girl cannot be around you, cannot be with you, if it's not that she's going to
money go, love will go,
seashells with you, if it's not that she's going to one luxurious place with you, then you are paying for love. If you guys cannot think for one day that, okay, let's stay back home, just cook and eat and watch Netflix and chill, you understand? And it's always like the luxurious things all of the time, then you are paying for money. You're paying for love.
You're also paying for love if this person was somebody that was already above your... Because sometimes when some people put in that extra effort, try to bring out all the money, break the bank just to, catch this particular person. And in that instance, you just have to tell yourself the truth. You know that this person is already a flashy lifestyle kind of person. So you're killing yourself, even taking loan from Pampe, they call you every time because you want to help this babe keep funding her lifestyle. You just know you are paying for her to love you. And in that instance, it's not the babe who are even to blame, it's you. It's you, because you know fully well that, okay, if I don't have this money, this girl will not be here. And you knew from beginning, and you still went to shook your head and put. But then at what point is it now entitlement as well?
Like we
like on
before.
On the part of the babes, because as I already said, where this whole idea of, okay, give me an allowance or take care of me financially comes from, is because men are nobody's inherently anything. Men are typically the providers and protectors in our society. So I think it's okay for babes to want somebody who can actually provide for them. But now the tax bracket of that person is now left for them to go and find the particular tax bracket they want their provider to be in. But when does it come off as entitlement?
I would say it comes as entitlement when, like we said, if you are not taking the person out to the luxurious places, then you can't see her. You can't even tell her, oh, let's hang out to like maybe Chicken Republic safe, or let's hang out around the house. It has to be something.
There's always a bill.
Yes, it has to be something out of the world, basically. That is when it becomes entitlement. And when the person like literally tells you every day, you are not the one that takes the initiative to send the money or the allowance to the girl. When the girl is calling you every end of the month, it's already the end of the month. Won't you
so make a no
salary
or
something and something like that? Then it becomes entitlement with you. And when maybe the person never comes to you for something that has to do with maybe a career path, you understand, like, okay, I need this money just because I want to use it for my business. I need this money just because it's always about the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the bag, the shoes. Then it becomes an entitlement to the person.
Okay, so I think Nifemi has covered that one too as well. I don't think I...
And also, and also when the person has this silly mentality of some men pay for sex, and why will I be giving it to you for free? That's I think that should be even the first reason.
So because of all this prostitution and hookup culture, I, by the way, I'm not I will not judge anybody. I'm all for doing what you want. Honestly, live your life. But I think people should not let it influence them. Like it should not influence who you are. So to the point that you're not saying, oh, some babes are being paid to have sex, so why should the man I'm sleeping with not have to drop anything? As I said, there's somebody out there in the world for everybody. If you know you want somebody that you will not even spend your money. You will not spend your money at all. The person is out there. Like if you tell them, oh, I'm going somewhere, they will send you money for transport. You don't have to open your mouth to ask. You might not be going to see them. You might be going somewhere else and they will send you the money. If you say, oh, I lost my wristwatch, they will replace it for you. There are people like that. Find that person. But at least if you're going to go after this, you're going to do these little things, have solid reason, not something as ridiculous as, oh, people are being paid to have sex, so why would you sleep with me for free? It's just sleeping with each other. I don't want to say the word sex, but it's just that's just what it is. It's just sex. Like it's not that serious. If you don't agree, if you think okay, you should be paid for it, there's somebody out there that will give it to that same man for free. So I don't think you should base an entire argument on why you deserve girlfriend allowance on sex. And I'm going to say it again that there's someone out there for everybody, but go after the tax bracket you want. So you will not be having this. That's why that's why I've even stopped having this kind of arguments online, or even trying to explain why somebody should get allowance or somebody should not get. People are there that are willingly flying people abroad, buying women houses. Is it what's the model you call it? Ferrari, Bugatti, willingly out of their pockets, their hard-earned money, buying it for people. If that's the kind of person you want, go and meet the person. If you know that you want a reason with me, babe, that will carry you all back from starting of the year to the end of the year, that will not stress you for anything, that would really be appreciative of what you give her, when you can give it to her, go for that person. So I think after this episode, I don't even want to be seeing all these arguments. Okay, after our Twitter space, I don't want to be seeing all these arguments online. Just if this person should tell you, oh, you can't afford me, take it like that. Don't take it as a challenge to try to afford the person. Take it like that and turn the other way. I'm going to afford you can afford though.
But regardless, it is really nice to get to find a partner that has the initiative.
Yeah, some people some people don't
that has the initiative to actually give you the allowance without you even having to ask.
Yeah, but I said, I know somebody who initiates it, and it's good. If you want things like that, if you expect things like that, it's good so you can set the tone and set expectations. Some people by design, they give. Some babes by design, if you look at them, you know that, okay, I'm supposed to do this. Some people, it's because of how they feel for you. They feel they need to do stuff for you. That's fine. But some people, I know, like I said, I know somebody, she used to tell you so that tomorrow you will not have problem. Will not have problem. And I can understand maybe if you should delay this month or delay that month because of this and that. But the fact that I've talked about it, if something's up, maybe you cannot give me that month. At least there's a way you would tell it to me. I mean, I'm a human being like you, so I understand if things are a bit slow. Tell me, it's not the one that you now want to now rub it in my face later that so if I don't give you allowance, you cannot stay in the relationship. That was not how we started. Don't keep me on the vibe you cannot maintain. So if you don't have the initiative to give and your babe should bring it up and you agree to it, that's even another thing. We've already talked about it that sometimes it's looking like money go, love go. When the allowance is no longer coming, relationship will start shaking. It means that it probably like they didn't really want you for you. They didn't want you for who you are.
But I also want to believe that as humans or as people that we claim to be in love with somebody, you should be able to like help out when it comes to one or two things. You can't be doing birthday as my man, and I will not be able to even like take you out, make you feel good. You understand? So I want to believe that no matter what the argument is about, it is normal for you to spend on whoever that you are.
So basically it's actually very normal, and it's a spending that is selfless. It doesn't have to involve you. Some people they manage to buy you airtime
every day. Come to my house.
Call me.
But you know that I bought you airtime yesterday. Now
You did not call me today. What about the airtime I sent to you?
Exactly.
Sometimes do things for people and that is away from you. It doesn't involve you. You don't have to take a part in. If you manage to buy them Hollandia yogurt now, you go on follow them, finish the yogurt. No, they do like that. Yourself try get small shame. I think we've come to the end of this episode. Now before we go, I want to actually thank two people Victor and Samuel. So Victor got us mic stands. They are not here.
Yay!
They are not here because I did not have strength to be carrying them around. But from the next episode, you guys will see them. Now, when we bought the mic stands, this is a funny story. I bought the mic stands, the hook for the mic was too small. So I casually mentioned it that, oh, the hook is too small. Now, Samuel now got us shock mounts. Shock mounts is like a hook that is sold separately that you can use for any kind of mic. You can adjust it to fit, make it wider. So guys, from next episode we'll now have our own mic stands. I'm not going to do all this one day. Do mic like this now. We'll have our own mic stands and moving forward. So I just want to say a big thank you to all of them. I genuinely appreciate it. I'm always the one spending money on the podcast, so it was good that somebody, people did something.
No, that's not allowance because it's not money, but that's a way of.
It's still something. If you want to give the podcast allowance, by all means, please, please call me now. Call me. I will pick your call and we'll talk. You will do something for the pod. It's fine. It's totally fine. But I just want to remind you guys that, like I said, we're going to be having a Twitter space. The plan for it is to have it on the day this episode will drop, but if it doesn't, you would have seen the flyer on or before the day you're watching this. But that being said, I think we've come to the end of this episode. There's nothing more to talk about. If you've gotten to this point, don't forget to like, share, comment on YouTube. I love reading comments on YouTube. So as I said, I've asked people how are you. If I don't see responses from next episode, and they ask again, because it's obvious people are fine. Share the episode. This episode 2, like the last one with Nifemi, would only be on YouTube because we're trying to build our fan base and our community on YouTube. So if you watch, please subscribe as well. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say.
Yeah, it was lovely being here.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, how does it feel to come back?
I just didn't even think that the first time I ever did this, it was going to, like, I'll be back here because I felt like, I've never done it before, so it's just nervous and anxiety thing. But I love that I'm back here. That's to say that maybe I did it well. The one I did before, I did it well or something like that. So I'm grateful that I'm here.
Alright, so that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. As always, bye.